do you have any regrets over the course of your whole career? Do you mind sharing?
Sure. Rana, do I speak? Thank you, Anna. Any regrets? You asked me that 5 years ago, I'd probably say yeah. After the Olympics 2016, kind of took my foot off the gas, and I was head and shoulders above everyone. Got complacent, and I don't regret that right now, but I still wonder, what if we just kept going along that path? So there are these questions of what if, and I guess that's what makes life interesting. But do I feel a sense of regret? No. You win or you learn. And that's something I learned from one of my coaches.
Sorry, just a follow-up to that. What about, for last couple of years ago, your cannabis taking? Do you think that has affected your career?
I think with everything in life, there are lessons, right? Some people believe in they're predetermined to hit X, Y, or Z. Life isn't such. Life throws you curveballs, you make decisions, and you have to live with those consequences or decisions that you've made. But no one is perfect. So do I regret it? I regret putting my loved ones and my family through all the angst and the scrutiny of it. I think in hindsight, the best way I can move forward is to know that there is a lesson to be learned in that. And if I'm better tomorrow than I am today, I'll take it.
Joe? Hi, Glenn from Money FM.
Hi, Glenn.
Given the massive personal and financial input that your mother and your late father had to sacrifice for you, would you like to see a different way forward for emerging athletes in Singapore? Would you like to see a different way for people to be able to study and to train overseas without having to, literally use their life savings and their family savings to do that?
Thank you, Glenn. Absolutely. I think it's all a numbers game, right? In Singapore, fortunately or not, we don't have the numbers to be able to make mistakes, or we need a better formula than everyone. Coming from the US, NCAAs, there are thousands, 10,000s of college athletes, and only 1% of those college athletes make it to the pros. And maybe 10% of those 1% start flaming out in the year and after that. Differently, I would be cautious to use the word differently, and this is why. Whenever we try to have systemic change and we use the word different, people that have established the system naturally feel cornered. We need to understand that we play for the same team. We fly the same flag, and things can be done better. There's always a way to improve. If we have an existing solid base, which we do, it's gotten better, and I can attest to this from early 2000s coming to now. SAQ, for example, better people, better support structures. We are moving in the right direction. And one of the things that I'd like to do, and I will be doing moving forward, is helping our sports ecosystem grow. I've had chats with Minister Edwin, Alan Goh, and they've been very receptive. So it's nice to see that I am transitioning into this phase where people are willing and receptive to taking our country to the next level. But different? No. Get better? Yes, absolutely.
Hi, Joe. Steve from SNTV. Just wanted to ask you, this sport is something you've done every single day of your life since you were, 6, 7 years old. What are your emotions now as you walk away from that and this whole open space that's the rest of your life? I mean, how do you feel? Is it fear, trepidation, excitement? I mean, just want to know what your emotions are.
Yeah, man. I'd say emotions are definitely running pretty high right now. I'd say almost as comparable to after 2016, but just in a different manner. I mentioned a bit about bittersweet part, but also to go one step deeper into your question, it's a sense of identity, right? You're crossing over a different sphere, a different realm. And a lot of the issues athletes face, or anyone really, is, hey, once I leave my job, I've done well, who am I? So that's something that I've had to mentally prepare over the last few years and cultivate this new identity, something that I can be proud of, something that I can go to bed at night and sleep, wake up the next morning, look forward to, and know that I'm adding value to not only myself, but most importantly, the people around me. So how do you grasp with this identity change? It's tough, and it's an ongoing process every single day. But I've learned that if you're open, you're honest, people can see that you're genuine, they're more willing to help. And I've had some really, really good people help me forge, cultivate, and have that confidence to build this new identity over the last few years. And that's something also we spoke about, the sports ecosystem. An athletic career is going to end. You know, everything comes to an end one day. But how do you give these athletes, especially the pipeline, the youth athletes, that reason and confidence to go forth and say, hey, I've learned a lot of cool things when I'm swimming or playing a different sport. How do I use that skill to go to the business world or do community service, inspire the people around you? So yeah, the identity change is an ongoing process every day. But we're getting there.
Hi, Joseph. Reno from Today. Would you say national service played a factor in your decision to retire? How much of a spanner did it really throw in your plans? And second question, what's going to happen with your existing endorsement deals and sponsors?
Thank you, Reno. I'll answer the second one first. The existing sponsor and endorsement deals, the future is a promise to no one. But for right now, this very given moment, I'm proud to say I have great sponsors that stick by me through thick and thin. Whatever happens in the future happens. I wish I could give you a better answer for that. And to answer your first question about NS, when I went in, I had a really negative mindset about, being taken out after the Olympics, have to adjust this new way of life. For the first 3 months, it was probably one of the hardest 3 months of my life. All of a sudden, one morning, after I finished more or less halfway through my BMT, I don't know what happened. I woke up and felt like, okay, you know what? You are in this situation. Like I have been countless times in a swimming sense. You just got to roll with it. You don't fight the tide. You swim with it. As Singaporeans, this is something that Singapore males, this is something that we all have to do. So you either come to terms with that or you're going to have a really hard time. I like to choose the path of least resistance. To answer your question directly about if NS threw a spanner in my career, looking back, I wouldn't like to think so. No. Are there better things we can do in terms of timing, going to NS, supporting athletes? From what I've seen inside, people are doing a pretty darn good job of supporting their men in their units. That part was a huge surprise to me. And I gained a lot of respect for the SEF. I'm from the Navy, for my fellow Navymen. I didn't think I would be feeling that way 2 years ago, to be quite frank, but I am today. And I'm proud to call them my friends as well. We have to understand that the people taking care of us in NS, this is their livelihood. This is their rice bowl. And they're our military. They need to be bound by very strict sets of rules. They need to defend us. That is their job. It's the same thing for me in swimming. Go all out when you can. Their job is to make sure we're safe. The fact that they are willing to put their livelihoods and their career sound a little dramatic for athletes or anyone to train, hats off to them. Like a lot of respect. Can we do things better? Yes, but no. NS did not end my career per se. I ended it on my terms.
Joseph Raushan from Money FM. Good to be here with you. Firstly, I think I speak for most Singaporeans when I want to say thank you for putting us on the global map. We know how big a part your dad played in your career and everything you went on to achieve. He's not here with us physically, but I'm sure he's with you. What do you think he's thinking as you make this decision, and what would you like to say to him to convince him that it's the right one?
He'd probably be saying, hey, come on, no, one more Olympics, Ken. What I'd say to him is, I think there's a point in time where it's time to do something else. And also on the flip side, get to spend more time play golf with you. Definitely pull that card. I think you'd see things my way.
So my question is, during your time competitive swimming, what do you think you meant to Singaporeans then? And going forward, what do you think you mean to Singaporeans now?
I think when I was swimming, I was so engrossed in my own career, I didn't really know or set aside the time to think about what Singaporeans thought of it. That is the honest answer. The real magic is what happens now, looking back, hindsight 2020. I hope that this is a source of inspiration. I hope that this means that we can challenge the traditional career pathways. There is more than one way to be successful. And most importantly, we got to do things that we ourselves are proud of. That's all I can ask for. Whether or not it's, I don't know, you're donating all your time for a nonprofit organization or being a big time CEO of a company. I used to draw a really hard line between, I'd rather be a CEO than donate my time. That's a 16, 17-year-old kid speaking, because those were the traditional norms that I saw in society. But now I really think it's, yes, you need to earn a living to eat, right? We all gotta eat. But at the end of the day, when we pass on, it's not gonna matter, And I think my dad's passing really opened my eyes to this as well. Mom, dad, family, they sacrificed a lot, right? They could have lived comfortably. They didn't have to mortgage the house and send me to the US, but they did so anyway. And that got me thinking, wow, this is a next level of love. So I want Singaporeans to be proud of what they're doing and not just go into a field or career just because my mom or my dad or my friends think that this is cool, and this should be done. No, and I think we're making good progress in that field. We can always do better, but I'm happy with the direction that we're taking right now.
Hi, Joe, over here. Thank you for your contribution and your service and for being an all-round nice guy to us in general. Congratulations on moving on to your next phase of your career. I just want to ask, is politics in the equation at any point of time in the future for you?
I mean, never say never. But for right now, I'm focused on the business ventures, on the personal side. If I am lucky enough one day to be in that spot, then so be it, You can't put a limit on anything. But for right now, I'm very happy, like Rohit said, playing golf, going to my VC, swim school, and helping mom out in the office. Yeah, it's my turn to be a normal kid, or not normal kid, normal guy.